Hello everyone and welcome to episode 26 of the Books, Hooks and Yarn Knitting Podcast. My name is Crystal. Hello to those of you that know me and greetings to those of you that don't. I'm so happy you found me. This is just a small space on the internet for a big love of knitting. We are almost at a year of the podcast actually. So quick recap, I learnt to knit when I was a kid. Did it on and off, but back then it was all acrylic yarns and straight needles and a lot of stockinette. So yeah, I just didn't really love it that much. Picked it up again randomly last year during our first lockdown, thanks to coronavirus. And it has gotten a little bit out of control. I love it so much. You know, when you find people that you feel like you belong with, this is like my thing. That is mine and I love it and I feel like I belong with it. So if there's any background noise, my children are being blissfully quiet right now, but next doors are out playing in the court, so it is a little bit noisy. So that's the knitting stuff. I occasionally crochet, not a huge fan of it. I only ever do it for blankets because it's the only thing I really enjoy crocheting. I am a beginner knitter. I would classify myself as a beginner knitter. I try to be a bit adventurous in what I am knitting, but I do make a lot of mistakes and I'm fine with that because it's all part of the learning curve. I'm sure if I looked back at my first pair of socks and looked at the socks I knit now, I'd be like, well, definitely some improvement. I live here in southeast Victoria, about 45 minutes from Melbourne City, with my husband and our two daughters. I call them Bunny and Bear. We have I'm staring at her right now, a Dachshund. She is half chocolate lab, half Dachshund. And she is full love bug. She's just the most amazing dog and I couldn't imagine my life without her. I think she's getting close to 6 months old now, or she's already 6 months. If you can hear a bell dingling around, that is my very old cat. She is 12 now and she's just jumping around the house, teasing the dog really, because the dog's just going to get up and chase her. So if you hear a big thud and then pause, it's because the dog's sitting there watching her and she's about to get up and chase her, I reckon. All right, on to first things first. This is my first time doing this, I think. Well, it's my first time doing it for a garment. I think I've done it for accessories before, especially in winter. This is what I'm wearing. It is the twisted t-shirt by the Little Wolf Knits. I did the test knit for the 56 inch, I think. It is quite roomy in the bust. I probably could have gotten away with doing a smaller size, but that's okay. This is my first time wearing it since it's been washed and blocked. I've worn it a couple of times before I got washed and blocked, but I was quite lazy getting around to the whole blocking stage because my gauge was pretty much perfect after knitting. So yeah, it matched my swatch really well. Since blocking it, I didn't really pin it or anything. I just kind of soaked it, rinsed it out, and then I kind of hung it up to dry and I just did the occasional little tug on it. So it hasn't really grown in length much. It is a cropped shirt. I will stand up. Normally I would wear this with a cropped, a high-waisted skirt, or pants, but I'm just at home today, so I'm just wearing it with jeans and a singlet. But it is cropped, so that's my belly button there. And it goes to pretty much my belly button. So it was supposed to be a little bit longer, I think, but I ran out of yarn, like right there. And I thought, once I put the ribbing on, that will be the perfect length. So this is Wisteria by Yarns by the Bay. And this is Fruit Tingle Cocktail by Yakimomo Textiles. Sorry, I say it wrong every time. Yokomomo Textiles. It's a very pretty colorway. I absolutely love it. And that's a twisted rib. Yeah, I love it. Short sleeved, cropped, but the best detail is this here. I forgot how good this looks. Look at that. It's like a fake, no, what am I thinking of? Is it a half brioche, I think? Or maybe it's a different one I'm thinking of. I don't know, but I love it. It's so pretty. And it is on the back as well. It's just such a nice detail and I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. And I've got my earrings that match. These are by an Indigenous designer and I will pop the details down below like I always do. because I believe in supporting our Indigenous artists, or Indigenous anything really. So yeah, I absolutely love it. And the weather is so nice today. I could finally wear it. I was wearing like a fluffy pink cardigan over the top of my singlet, and then I took the girls and the dog for a walk, and we were all hot and bothered by the time we got back because my children are not fun. They always love the idea of a walk, and then once we're on it, not so much. So yeah, we're all a bit hot and bothered when we got back, so I got changed. All right, I have some finished objects today, which is so exciting. I feel like I'm on a roll with finished objects at the moment, probably because I'm on school holidays and I do nothing but sit and knit. I'm glad I have this little corner of my house because the rest of it is trashed. I stayed up so late on Wednesday night cleaning it so I could try and get the house back into order before school holidays finish. And it hasn't worked because it's just trashed again. And enough of that. In my little corner with my finished objects, I accidentally finished the Kodiak cow by the Blue Mouse. This was my Mad About You challenge entry, because I've never done any brioche before, but I've definitely never done a 2-color brioche. So the 2-color brioche cow, and my gosh, was it a fun knit. It was very relaxing. By the time I got to about, so this is the bottom. By the time it was over halfway. By the time I got to about here-ish, I could basically do this without even looking at it. Probably should have not done that though. So you'll notice I haven't woven in my ends, and I will show you why. Now, I followed what the pattern said. It said to do just a regular knit bind off in 2 sizes up. So I went from a 4mm to a 5mm needle. And I tried to cast off really loosely, and at first it seemed like it worked, but look at this difference. So this is the bottom, that's how much it stretches out. This is the top. It like has no give at all, so that's why I haven't woven in my ends, because I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and unpick it. But once I wear it, so I've washed it and blocked it, and it opened up so nicely. Like, I didn't pin it or anything because I didn't want it to really stretch out, but before I blocked it, it was like the pinks were sitting next to each other. And look at that now, like, it's so pretty, and it's reversible. So let me turn it back other way. Ta-da! It's so nice. I absolutely love this. But yes, once I put it on, let's have a look. I'll turn it back in the other way because I like the pink better. Oh, it's not that I like it better, I just like the higher contrast on this side. So I can fit it over my head, no problems for the bottom. For the top, I have to kind of ease it down. And I have to take my glasses off. There's no way it's going on with my glasses on. If I turn that around so my ends are behind me. So here's my dilemma. Here's why I haven't just taken out the bind off and redone it. I kind of like it when it's on. So the wider, stretchier part's down the bottom here, and it's sitting so beautifully. And the part that's a bit tighter isn't tight around my neck. Like, it can still go up around my face. Sorry, that's probably really my fault. It still goes up around my face, no problems. I kind of like how nice and close it sits. Instead of sitting all the way like down out here and letting all that air get in, I kind of like that it's right here and keeping me warm. Like, isn't that kind of the point of the cowl? So, see, so that's my problem. I don't like how tight it is to put on, but I like how it feels when it's on. So, what to do? Half of me says leave it, the other half says you won't wear it as much because of what a pain it is, but once you put it on, chances of me taking this off are pretty slim. And the fact that it sits closer to my neck instead of gaping out also means I won't feel like I need to take it off in case food falls down, because if it's tucked up against my neck, no food's gonna fall in there, which is great. Because a lot of times when I'm eating, I do take scarves and cowls and stuff off because I always worry they're just gonna become food catchers. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm going to knit another one of these. I'm going to do 2 fingering weight yarns held double. I have this beautiful sock blank, from Sal's Crochet Creations on Etsy, and it's dyed by avocados. And it's a really difficult color to match up, and I didn't just want to make socks out of it. because it is double knit, so there's 2 strands together. So it's basically DK weight. But I thought, I've had this sitting in my stash for forever. It's from Dragonfly Yarns, which one of these yarns is too. I'll tell you about that in a moment. It's called Pink Confetti, and I originally bought it for a friend, but I am actually yet to knit for anybody else outside of my husband and my 2 children. Because, oh, sorry, I lie, I've also crocheted a blanket for my niece. And I've knit like scrunchies and stuff like that, but I haven't knit a garment for anybody or socks. Or my mother-in-law ended up with a pair of that just because they didn't fit me. And I thought I would actually like to use this instead of having it specifically put away for a garment that I don't even know if I want to actually make. So I would rather use it and enjoy what I'm making out of it instead of just having it sitting in the cupboard as a maybe one-day project. So this is Pink Confetti from Dragonfly Yarns. And the reason I want to use it is because it has these these bits of brown in it, which I thought would go nicely with the pinky brown of the avocado. So I thought it'd be high contrast but matching. So I like that the colors are contrast, but I'm not going to use like a blue and an orange together because in my mind they would contrast, but they wouldn't look very nice together. So yeah, I want high contrast but still look nice, and I really want to try brioche with a speckle in it. So that will be my next one of these, because honestly it was just such a fun knit and it makes such a beautiful garment. I think I would love a whole, yeah, I'd like all this in all different colors. So yeah, that's that. All right, the yarn in this, the pink is Cameo by Dragonfly Yarn. The purpley red is Gladesville by Yarns by the Bay. I had 33 grams of the Cameo left and 32 grams of the Gladesville left. So I used a gram extra of the Gladesville. Let me take this off because earring. It is not cold enough for this today. I did have my hair down, but I had to put it up today because it was just, it needs a haircut and it's just a lot of hair. So yes, that is that. I think I'm just going to weave those ends in. Decision made. Yep, I'm just going to keep it the way it is. And when I make the next one, what I might do, I don't want to do a stretchy bind off. I might go up to a 7. Yeah, I might go up to a 7mm needle and see if that works. All right. Okay, next finished object. I finished my test knit for Jess of the Woolly Warden. So this is the Sine Wave Beanie. It is absolutely stunning. I finished this today. So the ice cream stitch marker here from Lovely Little Yarns AU, that's where I was up to last time. I had just started it. And I already told Jess this, but if I didn't have to like parent and eat and sleep, I probably wouldn't have put this down. I would have had it done on Saturday or something because it was so much fun to knit. I'll take this off now so I can pop it on and show you guys how it looks. I tested the large. It is, I'm hoping it'll fit my husband and it will be his anniversary present for tonight. So I'll try it on and show you guys how it looks. It looks so good. There we go. So there we go. It is so pretty. I absolutely love it. I was thinking the yarn was too variegated when I first started knitting it, but it once you put it onto a head, I actually put it onto a balloon after I knitted it to see it really open up. It's it actually looks so pretty. So the yarn I used for this is, put my glasses back on so I can read my notes. Fortune Yarn Co. Is that right? I've got, yeah, Fortune Yarn Co. Sorry, I've got fluff on me. Velvet in the DK weight yarn. I'm actually excited because I'm getting a Fortune Yarn Co. Advent, and this is my first time knitting up with the Fortune Yarn Co. yarn. It was beautiful. This yarn would be perfect for colour work. Not that I've done colour work before. I'm just assuming, to be honest, because I've had, sorry, there is so much fluff on my nose and I don't, lovely. Okay. I've heard multiple knitters say that are way more experienced than I am say that grabby yarns are better for colour work because they're not slippery and they're not going to like slide all over the place and they will hold on to each other a bit better. This is one of the grabbiest yarns I'd ever worked with. It was such a dream to knit with. There was no slipping on my needles. I didn't drop a single stitch. It is unheard of for me to not drop a stitch. Not a single stitch. This was, yeah, this is stunning yarn to knit with. So I'm very excited. Now, one of my favorite things about this, apart from like the gorgeous pattern in it, is the decreases in the crown. Look at that. It is so pretty. Oh, and the way you actually knit them was so much fun as well. It made so much logical sense to me, the way it was done. I barely had to look at the pattern because there was just such a logical step to it that I knew exactly what was coming next. One thing I did do that helped though is once I started doing the decreases, I noticed that they were in like sections. So I put stitch markers in so that instead of having to count, I knew that when I got to this many stitches from the stitch marker, I could do this. So that helped a lot. Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. Ah, it's even better in real life. Like, I don't know how to show this off without it. It's just so pretty. I love it when things are like symmetrical and in a pattern. And yeah, all right, so that's only 2 finished objects. I just spent, 17 minutes talking about a beanie and a cow, but they're really pretty. All right, what have I got next? Whips. Well, one is a whip, but I did like 4 rows on it. I've mentioned a few times that I was participating in the Across the Pond shawl cowl hosted by Fernanda of Little Monkeys and Me and Ruth of Ruth Loves to Knit. I failed, I think today's the last day to get it in, and I did like nothing on it since last week because I was so busy with that beanie and the cowl because, I don't know, even though they're both like patterned knits, it was still just, the ones I gravitated to, they were the ones that brought me joy in the last 7 days. So this one I will knit on again, but I think I'm going to change my needles. I think that was part of the problem. So I'm going to change to my Chiaogoos. I always call them Chiaogoos, I don't know why. Chiaogoos, and yeah, because that's where I was up to. And that's which I've done. Not even worth showing. But so I didn't get it finished for the cowl, but I am going to get it finished because it is lovely and light. And I love the yarn. This is Inkspell by Stitchcraft and Wizardry on their gold finger base. It's got gold stellina in it. I actually picked up the Ink Heart trilogy and started reading it last night because I was exhausted and I needed a comfort read. So I started reading it again and it was delightful. And then I fell asleep with the pages open. I thought that there's not a more fitting book to do that to. So yeah, that's here. My Hufflepuff bag. Had this made by a viewer. She, I mentioned I wanted an avocado bag, and she emailed me and I said, hey, I could make you one if you like. You can order one, and that and the avocado and the Hufflepuff one, and I love them because they're gorgeous. So yes, I did that. All right, so that's that one. Barely anything. The other one, I actually managed to go and catch up with a friend on Sunday. So because I've only had half of my vaccination, I've only had one, I can only meet up with one other person, and I think the rule is I can take my kids if there's no one else to look after them, but people work during the week, so I'm not going to catch up with them then, and my husband's home to look after the kids on the weekend, so I didn't take my kids. And we just met up at a local like botanical garden, and we just sat, and she cross-stitched and I knitted, and I got the rest of the tube done for one sock for my bear. So these are bears. Oh, let's see if I can say this right this week, because I had a Dutch person, a Dutchie, comment on my last episode about how to say this. It is now I'm not going to be able to say it. Scheepjes. Scheepjes. Scheepjes, I think. Yes, there was an A in there. Scheepjes. Downtown in morning mist. So I already had measured her foot, and I did the math and everything you do with the pattern. It's Socks from a Tube by Danielle Lanois. And I originally was going to stop at this pink stripe here, but then I measured that if my toe started there, because that's where you have to measure for where you need to cut your heel in, that I would have had to cut the heel in halfway through this light purpley pinky strap. I didn't want to do that because that's my contrast color. To me, it wasn't enough of a contrast, so I made it so that it went like one row. So when I cut, I'm going to cut one row. No, I'm going to cut the stitch. No, that's not right. What am I doing here? Oh, I've picked up that row. Oh, I haven't picked up the second row of stitches. That's right. So I've picked up one row of stitches. My gosh. I'm going to be cutting the little purple row under that, and I'll be picking up another row of stitches before I do that as well. So basically it'll be cut into the bottom of the purple stripe. It's Friday. Can you tell? It's been 3 cups of coffee is not enough to get through kind of a day. So yeah. So I just need to cut her heel in. I've already done the toes, and then I can start the next one, or I can start the next one anyway and just cut the heel in whenever I want to. Yeah, I had the brain power the other night to pick up the stitches, obviously only for one row, but I didn't have the brain power to actually cut the heel and start knitting it, so I just kind of left it. But yeah, nice short tube, and I should have enough left to do the next one because I didn't do a massively long leg, but it should be long enough for her little legs. So yeah, so that's the main color that I'm using. Yep, Morning Mist Scheepjes. I just like saying that now. Scheepjes, downtown, and I got this from Stitchcraft and Wizardry, and the contrast color is a purple. Oh, I've got a Knit Prosing in there. Is a purple mini from the Berry Bunch minis collection I got from Obsession Yarns. So yeah, that's I should have that pair finished by next week because I'll be back at work from Monday, so they're perfect for knitting, and when I'm actually at school on site supervision, good for lunchtime knitting. So assuming I get a lunch break. What else have I been working on? Oh, I've started a gauge swatch for something, and that's as far as I've gotten with it, but that will probably be my next focused pattern knit. Astrid of Wattle and Wool has designed a beanie called Entwined. You can, if you go to her podcast, which I'll link below, you can actually hear her talk all about it. It is a beautiful beanie, and we all kind of jumped at the chance to test knit it for her. So I am using, you have to hold a mohair and a fingering weight yarn together. I am using Blondie Fluff from Oyster Yarns, and Almond in the sock yarn from, oh, my little thing doesn't want to, there we go. Almond in sock yarn by Yarns by the Bay, of course. So let me show you what they look like together. I was dreading the fact that I had to do a gauge swatch, but then I decided if I'm going to do a gauge swatch, I'm going to do a gauge swatch. So I, instead of trying to do that thing where when you do a gauge swatch in the round, you just carry your yarn behind, I am doing like a full round thing. And the reason I'm doing that is because you only need to use 50 grams of the fingering and 25 grams of the mohair. I've got 100 grams of the fingering and 50 of the mohair, so I figured I might as well make a cute little thing. I might turn this into a scrunchie afterwards. We'll wait and see. But yes, this is the gauge swatch pattern. Ignore the first 4 rows, that was just me doing my own thing, so then I would start the actual gauge pattern from there, because I like to have like a little border so I don't have to measure right from the bottom. These look so pretty together. I am obsessed with this, and I just can't even imagine wearing this on my head. It's going to be so nice. I don't even know if you can see the halo that is going on there, but it is so pretty. I'm completely in love with it. So yes, I didn't even check to see when this has to be done by. I probably should ask Astrid that. So yeah, I am a little bit apprehensive about the cast on we have to do. We are doing a provisional cast on, and then like joining them together, and it's going to be, it looks amazing, so it's going to be worth it. But it'll be my first time doing a provisional cast on since I did, what did I do a provisional cast on for? I did one for, oh, I did one for my daughter's. I did her a little bolero. It was supposed to be the harvest cardigan, and I got tired of knitting it because I was knitting it with yarn that was way too small, and I just made it into a bolero, and that was my first ever provisional cast on. So yeah, I guess I'll be doing that again. I've got a little progress keeper in here marking where I started the patterned gauge swatch. That's from Alexandra Fiberbound. She made this herself. It's a little polymer flower. It's so pretty. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on that tonight probably, because it is a fun little gauge swatch to do. And I don't really have anything that is already cast on because I have a ton of future knits to do. So today is two things. There's two very important things happening today. The first one is that my husband and I have been together for 16 years. We haven't been married for 16 years. We've been married for 7.5. It'll be 8 years in April. But we have been together for 16 years. So I was 15 when we started dating. I was 3 weeks away from my 16th birthday, and thank goodness for that, because if I had been just 15, he wouldn't have gone out with me. He has told me flat out that if I had been just 15, I would have been too young. As it currently stands, there is just under 2 years between us, which doesn't seem like a huge difference at our age, but to a 17-year-old who's about to turn 18, yeah, things get a bit dicey. So yes, I turned 16 3 weeks after I started dating. It's been fine ever since. Yeah, we've been together for 16 years. It's quite amazing. I think it's quite an achievement at our age. It's not enough. I feel so selfish saying that, but 16 years is not enough with this man. He annoys the crap out of me so much. But I would rather be annoyed by him for the rest of my life than not be annoyed by him for the rest of my life. So yeah. Anyway, that's like one thing, really important. The other thing that is really important is that Mel from Down Under Diet is starting a cat along today. So you can choose any thing sort of, as long as it's to do with cats. So your pattern can have cats in it. It can have cats in the name. The designer could be like, their name could be cat something, or like something cats or whatever. You could be holding your project in a cat project bag, which I will be doing. You could be using yarn from a dyer that has a cat in their name, a cat on their label. For example, Obsession Yarns has a cat on her label. Who else do I have here that might have cat related things? Probably nothing right behind. Oh, I've got some of Mel's yarn right here because I'm obsessed with her stuff. So Mel has a cat on her label. I don't know if I have any cat named yarn, so that's not a thing I can do at the moment. You could use cat stitch markers, basically anything. If you can throw a cat in there, if you knit a whole thing, you don't have anything to do with cats, and then you just stick like a little cat tag on it, boom, done, entry, you're good to go. So I am going full cat, and I have forgotten some things, so I'm gonna go grab them. I grabbed my things and I waited for next door's kid to stop screaming. So that's that. All right, so full cat, which I forgot to get. So I won't show you my patterns just yet, I'll do that in a second, but I have 2 bags here that I will definitely be using. The third might not be cat themed, so I'll just make sure the cat project is in there. This is one bag. This is by my, it's all crushed, Mavis Castlemaine, and it's got kitty cats on it. And I've actually already got some cat stitch markers in there as well. There we go. They're just so cute. So yes, I'll be using those with the bag. This might be my sock bag actually, possibly, I'm not sure. And this one has avocados on it, which I know is not a cat, but In my house, avocados and my cat are both the good kind of fat. No, so this is by Mel from Down Under Dire. So sorry about the screaming, guys. I know it can't be fun to listen to that, especially if you're watching podcasts sitting away from your own kids. It's got her cat tag on it, so I figure that is safe to use. And I will have to pick another one from my collection for the third project because I am casting on 3 things. I couldn't make a decision and I wanted to knit them all, and I don't know if I'll get them done in the month, but I'll give it a go. So the first thing, actually first, this. I'm also using cat themed stitch markers. So the tin is from Mavis Castlemate and I got stitch markers in it, but I have all my cat themed ones in here because Marie from Obsession Yarn sends a free cat stitch marker every time I do an order. So, and I've done a few orders. So I've got all cat themed stitch markers. This one's from Mavis, little kitty cat head. These ones are from Obsession Yarns. Oh, when she first opened her shop, I think. Little kitty cat sitting in the moon. What else do I have in here? What don't I have in here? I also have, so these are all the like the free ones that Marie sends. Little kitty cat, just a bit cute. There's lots of kitty cats. Oh, this geometric cat is one of my favorites for some reason. I don't know why, I just love little geometric kitty. There are so many in here. But yes, I've got cat themed stitch markers as well. So I'll be all set on the cat front. I don't think I'm doing cat yarn except for, oh no, I could be. I will show you. All right, so patterns. I am doing kitty ankle socks. These are by Gina Bean. Sounds like something dirty. It could just be my brain. I'm sorry. It's assuming I've said it right. So yes, inorganic on Instagram. A bit of a play on words. So instead of inorganic on Instagram. So they're 2-toned toe up, which I've never done before. So they could also be a Mad About You challenge. Ankle socks with a kitty chart. So yes, I have yarns for this already, which is very organized of me. So, I say I'm very organized and I'm not sure which ones they are. So I have this skein of Cascade Heritage. It's been sitting in my stash. I bought this from Little Wally Makes to make socks for my husband, and turns out he's hand-dyed yarn worthy. So what can you do? So it's been sitting there for ages. But it's the perfect grey because I want to do, like it says you can do contrast or not contrast, it's up to you. I want to do the contrast. I want to do basically matching this, except the nose is going to be pink. The light grey is, I'm going to feel so silly showing you this, but you guys know I like to dye yarn just for myself, but I've avoided putting them into the cabinet because I don't have labels on them and I don't know how many meters they are, all that kind of thing. So I did find some labels from the Stitch and Mummy, I think it was. Sorry, it's covered up where the labels have overlapped. It is written on the label. Yeah, I found some labels on there and I just stuck them on. And my daughter had so much fun naming these. So this one is Concrete. It's just so I can know that there's 400 meters to the 100 grams. This is the Nundle Woolen Sock Yarn. And I've got like a notebook where I wrote down how much dye I used for like how much yarn, blah, 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 blah. Because like for this grey, which I find so pretty, I want to make a whole top split. So I need 5. I need to know how much dye to use. So yeah, I dyed this. Little plug there, I did this. So yeah, I'm going to use the light grey with the dark grey. So that'll be my contrast. And then I have this beautiful sock set from Melbourne City Dye Works called Budgie Smuggler. And I'm going to use this pink mini for the nose. So that'll look really sweet. And then, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My cat is wrecking the house. I don't think that's what a cat along is supposed to include. I don't need an actual cat in there. Anyway, so that's the socks that I'm going to make. I'm probably going to, if I just take that out, see if I can fit this into, I might use this for the Mavis bag. Because I've got the grey and the cats, so that'll be beautiful. Fits in there nicely. Oh my gosh. I love how bags are so much roomier than they appear. So I'll pop my needles and stuff in there and we're good to go. So that's one. Next. Ooh. I can't believe I'm going to do 3. I decided to do another brioche project. So I am going to do the Brioche kitty hat by Suzanne Summer, sorry. And it is like a take on the pussy hat that they were doing for the Women's March back in 2000 and I'm inclined to say 2015. So it's knit with DK yarn and mohair. So like with brioche, how you normally, with 2-color brioche, you would knit one round with one color and the next one you knit with the other color. For this one, you do one round with the DK and the mohair held together, and the next one is just the DK. I'm assuming. I did briefly read it. Yes, color A, and then colors A and B held together. So I don't have a lot of DK. So this entire top shelf here, this is DK with a couple of 12 plies and stuff in there, and then this is mostly mohair plus some self-striping fingering yarn. I don't have a lot of DK. I'm trying to rectify that, but it takes time to collect yarn. Like this has been over a year's worth of collecting. So I got, and I need to have, sorry, that was the other problem. I had plenty of options, but I need 219 meters. A lot of my DK is 180 meters. So yeah, I needed a little bit more than that, and I don't have, I did have a couple of options that I have 2 skeins of, but I didn't have a mohair to go with it. So yeah, I got this from my last wool swap. This is from Red Riding Hood Yarns. They don't dye anymore. They're a New Zealand dyer. But I love this because the yarn base, their DK, is called Belle. And that is my nickname. So yeah, I have been called Crystal Belle my entire life, and originally it started as like a Tinkerbell thing because she's quite airy fairy, and when she throws a tantrum she stomps her foot, and that is one of my defining traits. Not attractive in a 31-year-old, but I'm working on it. And now I get called Belle because I love Beauty and the Beast and the similarities between the brown hair, brown eyes, love of books, married to a very hairy man. And yeah, if I could just have some talking household objects to clean my house for me, life would be set. But yeah, I'm going to use this. This is 100% wool DK, 200 grams, 420 meters, superwash. So, the yarn color is Awkward Family Photo, and it just screams that to me. I don't know why, but as soon as I read that, I was like, that's exactly what that looks like. But yeah, it's got reds and blues, a little bit of grey, a little bit of purple. I just kind of love it. And I thought this would go perfectly with it. And this is my cat themed yarn. So this is Ariella by Obsession Yarns. It is 75% kid mohair, 25% mulberry silk, 420 meters to 50 grams. I only need 126 meters of mohair, so that's perfect. So one thing I noticed is that this has a lot of similar colors. Like it's a bit more purpley and pink, but I figure that difference will make, so these two together I think is going to make a much lighter, pinker version of this. And then with this for the contrast, it's not going to be as high contrast as my cowl, but I think it's going to be just enough contrast to make it a very interesting beanie. So I am excited about knitting that. I think that's going to have to go in here since I've got my cat themed yarn, my cat tag. And so yeah, so that doesn't say cat, it says kitty, but I figured that would be okay. And with the kitty socks, it's got a cat face in the pattern, so I'm safe there as well. And last but not least, I am doing a design that has no cats on it. No cat in the name, and I'm not using cat themed yarn. But it is by the Black Cat Knitting Company. Haha, loophole. This is the Rosewater Tea. I wanted to knit another garment because I really like this. I don't have a lot of bottoms that go with it, but I love the idea of the like cropped knitted tees for summer. So yeah, I'm going to knit this, and I am going to knit it out of Yarn by Jane, Frosted Rose. I've got 10 of these. Yes, I've got 10 of these. 5 are one dye lot, 5 are a different dye lot. I'm using the lighter ones. But what I love about it, I'm not going to be alternating skeins with this because I love, like, a lot of the projects, not all of them, a lot of the projects have already been done for this tea. You can see all that variation and stuff in speckles, and all of them look like this. None of them look like one perfect solid color, which is what I love. So I'm going to embrace the natural variation in the hand dyed yarn and just let the yarn do its thing. So yeah, I'm going to knit that. So I'm going to need a big project bag for that because I need to fit 5 skeins. I don't think I need 5 full skeins, but I am going to have 5 wound up ready to go. That's it for the cat-along. I do have some other future knits. This is supposed to be a short episode today. I'm so sorry. The good news is I'm going to announce a giveaway at the end, so keep watching. I have one other future knit that I would like to do. I bought this today. This is like one of my pretty new things. I saw this 2 days ago and favorited it so I could buy it today because it got released today. The Hello from My Colors Crop by Jessie May Designs. Like, look at that. It is so pretty. Oh, it is the most stunning crop. Like, I've never done color work before, so this will be my first color work thing. It uses 5 different colors, so I have gotten some options out. Yeah, so I need, for the size I'm doing, according to the projects that have already been done, I need just over 1 skein of the main color. Like, the most ridiculous amount. So I do have options for that. I want to do something in like pinks and purples. I could do something really, well, another thing that arrived this week was 5 skeins that I bought from Misty Yappy Yarns. Yarn and Fibers from Melbourne, and it's these 5 stunning colors. Very autumnal, but we're coming up to spring and summer. I might use these for another one if I enjoy knitting it, because they do look beautiful together and they're enough contrast and they just look stunning. Not sure if I would wear a lot of that though, to be honest. And I want to knit things that I will wear. So these are the colors I picked. Oopsie. Yeah. Okay, so I have quite a lot of my own yarn in here because I realize I keep dyeing it, and the only ones I knit up are the ones that my daughters have dyed. I haven't actually knit anything that I have dyed. And that seems insane to me because why am I dyeing it if not to knit it up? I mean, I do enjoy the dyeing process, so that could have something to do with it. But yeah, I need to actually knit it up. So here is what I have picked. So these are my main colors. Keep in mind my daughter named my yarns, okay? So no judgment. This color is called Deja Vu because she wanted to know what that word was when you've seen something before, but you don't know where. So she's like, what's it called when you think you've seen something before, your brain swears that this has already happened, but you can't remember it happening. I was like, Deja Vu. So that's what this purple is. I've got one more of these skeins in for my Stephen West shawlography. So yeah, that'll be all 3 skeins used once I've done this. So that plus Pirate Pearl yarns. So enough of a contrast, not a big contrast. Pearl from Yarns by the Bay. So I need 5 colors, remember. So this is my main color. Actually, this is going to be color 1. Color 2. Color 3 is Wisteria. This is actually this one. So from Yarns by the Bay. And color 4 is Tiny Dancer by me. So not a huge contrast to this one, but it's such a pretty purple that I really wanted to use it. And I thought it would go in nicely. So it's either going to be, this one will stay in here, or I might replace it with maybe a pop of bright pink. I could use the Rosehip Island for a pop of bright pink. So I think that looks nice with the purple and the cream and stuff, but I'm not too sure. Oh, don't know how I would go using linen when the rest are sock yarn though. Or I could also use this pink. It's a very bright pop of pink. I don't know, I've got options, okay? So, but this is my original thought, was these 5. So, yeah. What do you think? I think that'll look very nice. I originally wanted to use this for main colour, and then I realised I needed 2 because I thought this would look quite nice for the base. What someone did do is they didn't have enough of the main colour to do all of the main colour bits they needed, so they actually finished the sleeves in a contrast colour instead of the main, so I could possibly do that and just use those 5, because then it's also 1 extra skein. I don't have to ball up and then use a tiny bit of, I can just use a little bit extra of these for, yeah. I think I might end up doing that, to be honest. All right, that's that. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you was that I have been busy in the dye pots. Sounds so ridiculous to me when I say stuff like that. I'm not a dyer, I just do it for fun. It is a hobby, but I am thoroughly enjoying it, and I am starting to take notes now so I can start dyeing sweater quantities for myself, because it does get quite expensive buying sweater quantities of hand dyed yarn from others, and I will gladly do it still. Like, you're not going to see me not doing it. But sometimes, because I do enjoy dyeing as well, I will just dye that for myself. So you've already seen the grey, the light grey, concrete. This one is Tiny Dancer, because there is a, sorry, it smells nice. There is a, not lavender, there is a, could be a jade plant, I think it's a jade plant that has this light purpley and bits of white in the flower, and it's called Tiny Dancer. So that's where that name came from. My daughter didn't name that one, I did. She named Deja Vu, but I dyed that a while ago. Excuse me. This one my husband named. This is Pink Berry. Yep. I didn't have to name them, but it was a bit of a fun activity for us to all do together. So yeah, we kind of had a bit of fun with it. This is Cornflower. These are all Nundawool and Mills sock yarn, by the way. So yeah, that's Cornflower. These ones are not Nundawool and Mills. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5. So there should be 1 more. Oh, I did an orange. Oh, stay in there. This is pumpkin spice, because what else do you call orange? Actually, my daughter, I did a DK one that's up there, and my daughter called that just orange. So yeah, pumpkin spice. So, I quite like that. I did some DK weight yarn as well. I'm not a huge fan of the Nundawool and Mills DK, because when I'm dyeing it, it feels grabby, but now that I've knit with grabby yarn, I'm actually excited to knit this up. What did my daughter call this? River Rocks. Mint. I can't even remember now. Mint something. Mint Scoop. Mint Scoop. And Purple Skies, even though it's pink. I don't know. She had fun. She also named some others that I've got. Like, I've got a blue one here. Nope, that's not mine. This one she called River Worries. So that's River Worries. She had tons of fun doing it. And oh, and this one is Sky Bloom. Because the blue is the sky, the purple is the bloom. So that's Sky Bloom. I don't know. She had tons of fun, and honestly, it was another activity that we could do that took up like 15-20 minutes, and she wasn't in front of a screen for it, so it was wonderful. So that's all I've dyed, that's all I've knitted, that's all I'm going to be knitting. And I think that's it. And we've reached almost now. But the giveaway, okay, so slight problem. Ozpost has been an absolute pain. I ordered this stuff, feel like it was last week, it could have been over the weekend, it could have been early this week, I'm not entirely sure. But Tiny Toadstool Cottage does these beautiful sock sets, and there's one that is Beauty and the Beast themed. So because I am Belle, and I joke that my husband is the Beast because he's got the beard and lots of hair, and I decided I was going to do a Beauty and the Beast themed giveaway. So I have got the sock set coming, it hasn't arrived yet. Tiny Toadstool Cottage was so sweet and actually donated the sock set for my anniversary. So this giveaway is for my anniversary, by the way. We should have led with that. I'm not great at this stuff. It's to celebrate my anniversary. So 16 years is quite an accomplishment, and we don't do anything for our anniversary. So I figured I would share the love with you guys and do a giveaway. So I'm going to be doing the skein set, the sock set that I've already said. I will put a picture up here somewhere so you know what it looks like. And these are the stitch markers that I will be including. These are Princess stitch markers from Cowl Collective. Oh, it doesn't want to open. The reason I picked these ones is because there is a beautiful Belle in there, and she's just gorgeous. So there's Belle, Cinderella, which I just watched yesterday, Snow White, which we don't watch because we don't like the part where the witch gets chased through the forest and very clearly dies, and Sleeping Beauty, which we also don't watch for some reason. So yeah, those will be part of it, and I'm sure I can find some other bits and pieces to include, but definitely be the stitch markers and the sock set. And to enter, all you have to do is comment below with a little fact about yourself. So like my thing that I interestingly I told you was about my nickname being Belle. My husband and I have been together for 16 years, just anything random. It could just be whatever you want. I'm really not fussy. And I will draw that next week, because who wants to wait around weeks for a giveaway to be ending? Like, I hate the long drawn out ones. Let's do it. Find out who the prize is for. All right, that is it, guys. I hope you, I haven't even really chatted, but I feel like I've done chatting throughout. So I already told you I was reading because I needed something light and fluffy. My brain kind of finally took the second week of the holidays to go, oh, you're not using me at the moment. Bye. So yeah, that's been fun. Nothing's really going on. Back to school and work next week. Well, online anyway. Yeah. It's my birthday in 3 weeks. That's about it. All right, so I will see you next week. Hopefully next Friday again. I will hope and pray and cross everything that that's how it works. Or Thursday. We'll wait and see how much knitting I get done. Until then, please, please, please look after yourselves. Just doesn't feel like things are progressing as quickly as we would like them to, especially to get our lockdowns and whatnot, but we're doing what we can. Just, we'll get there. So yeah, look after yourselves socially, emotionally, physically, mentally, because all of that is important, and so are you.